Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for Can We Talk About It, where we're going to talk about that elephant in the room. So before I begin, I want to give a shout out to my husband, who was the light of my life. He's always there for me. He's that angel I always tell you guys about. I really appreciate him. I want to give a shout out to my children, Robin and Robert and Dale and Donnell. I love you guys so much. You mean the world to me. I told you guys before that my children had been taken away from me at an early age, and I had got into the drug scene and everything, and the Lord has blessed for me to live a clean life after 25, 30 years being clean, and my children back in my life. It's just a blessing to be able to follow the Lord and not your own devices, you know. So I'm just thanking the Lord for that. So let's get down with the show. We have a lady here. She's a very sweet lady. She's very intelligent. She's a cancer survivor also. She has a book coming out. I'm gonna let her tell you about that. Her name is Stacy Shannon, and we're gonna let her let you know, because her name is Stacy Shannon. I couldn't remember her last name, but it's Stacy Shannon something else. So we're gonna give you the floor, girlfriend.
First of all, it is a pleasure to be on this show and to finally be here with you.
Thank you.
And you are truly a breath of fresh air, and I am so inspired by your testimony. Mm-hmm. I am. That touches my heart. And I'm hoping and praying that you want to bring that story to the stage or to a movie, because it is a testimony. These are the things that people need to see. These are the things that people need to see, that God is able.
Yes,
He can turn
is.
some things around in our life.
Yes,
so
He
you have touched my heart
Oh,
deeply.
thank
Yeah,
you.
Amen.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So tell us about your book, girlfriend.
Okay, and it's Stacy Shannon Johnson.
Stacy Shannon Johnson.
But I'm used to it. People usually say Stacy Shannon or call me Shannon.
Johnson.
And Shannon's my maiden name, but
Okay.
Stacy Shannon Johnson. But the book is called Living My Life with No Regrets. It is an anthology.
Anthology.
And it is 9 of us. There are nine ladies associated with this book. The prime person that put this together is Linda Hunt. And everyone has their unique story of some, I would say, for some catastrophic events that they've been through. And there are people who have been delivered from pills to drugs to been in different, I think, abusive relationships.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
I feel you.
powerful testimonies associated with the book. And my chapter deals with my journey with breast cancer, and
Okay.
from the call from the doctor. You know what that's like.
Yes, I do.
You know
I've
what
had
that's
breast
like,
cancer.
and from that call until currently, I think it's imperative too. I believe it was imperative for me to be a part of the project, because 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in this country. And the numbers are the numbers are always high in our race.
Well, you know what? They would probably be a lot higher if, because there's a lot of women that don't go to the hospital at all.
Okay, amen. Amen.
So,
Come on and speak on that, sister.
Yeah, there's a
Come on.
lot of women that don't go to the hospital at all,
Yeah.
and then by the time they do go, it's too late.
It's too late, yeah, and that breaks
So,
my heart too. And it's important. I discussed that it was caught through or diagnosed or detected through a routine mammogram, and it is imperative. And I should every month go on Facebook, on social media, to remind people in your birthday month of we're coming up on July, in your birthday month of July, please go and do yourself a favor and celebrate you by getting setting up a mammogram.
Yes.
And also through the pandemic, and we're doing pretty good. I think we're slowly coming out of this, but don't let this pandemic keep you from setting up a mammogram. Please do not let that
That's
keep
true.
you. You can put your mask on and your
Yeah.
shield. I'm not going to go into detail about that because some people have different theories about this, but from my understanding, people are delaying mammograms and prostate exams because of this. And please don't do that. Please get that done. And it was early detection that I believe that's why I'm here.
And that's a blessing. And
Amen.
it was early detection for me too, because I made it my business.
Yes.
Every time I had to go have a mammogram, I went because I want to be able to be healthy. And a lot of you women need to be able to be healthy to take care of your children. So, I mean, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your children, do it for the people who love you because they need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're about to talk about this sex trafficking
Yeah.
thing.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I got some crazy stories. But I want you to tell my viewers about the sex trafficking, what you've learned, and the research that you've picked up on it.
Wow. First, I'm looking at the clock because I want to know how much time do I have.
We have 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, very good. There's a lot there's a lot to uncover, and when I go into schools or churches and different things and community events to speak about human trafficking, it is important that people understand that there are two different types of trafficking that go on all across the globe. One is for human trafficking. For labor trafficking, and so and I want to give some examples, or labor trafficking and sex trafficking. Well, let me give you some examples of labor trafficking.
If they went to Africa and got a child and brung them back to the States just to work them, and that's labor trafficking.
There you
right?
go.
Okay.
Sometimes, and I'm going to say this, but I'm going to put a disclaimer behind this. Maybe people will promise something because it's usually traffickers use force, fraud, and coercion. And a fraud, is a lie that I'm going to, they may meet a need. Maybe someone may need braces, or they may need some type of surgery or something like that, or help for a loved one. And someone may promise them, well, come over here and I'll pay for that. And then you can just work it off. And when you're finished, you're fine. And that's not always the deal.
case.
Yeah. And they're stuck as in it's modern day slavery. And so they may be in a nail salon. Not
Exactly.
every nail technician, we get our nails done. Not everybody is in labor trafficking, but it does occur.
Yes.
Braiding salons, hair braiding salons,
The Haitians.
orchard, for their orchards
Yeah.
where people pick fruit and things like that all over the country.
Spanish and white
And
folks.
it could be construction, jobs as a maid. And so there are a number of different ways where people
especially
can be.
in servitude.
Yes,
especially
in
in servitude.
Exactly, and especially people who are undocumented.
Exactly.
And we know things have been different since our past president. And so when people are undocumented, they are very vulnerable.
Yes.
And they may not want to call the police. They may be stuck in a
They
situation.
may be an illegal alien.
Exactly. And they're afraid to call the police. And so those are two different types of trafficking that go on all over the world. Labor for working, and then sex trafficking. So,
Yeah.
and that's when people sell a young woman or a young man It could be an older person, and let me break that down a little bit, because if you look at the generic definition of sex trafficking, I'm going to read that real quick.
Okay.
Human trafficking is a recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for sex trafficking in which a commercial sex act is indeed by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person induced to perform such an act has not attained the age of 18 years old. And we're going to go over that in one moment. Of age or labor or services through the use of force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of subjection to involuntary servitude, peonage, debt, bondage, or slavery. Coercion includes the threat of a physical or psychological harm to children and their families. If you don't do this, I'm going to kill your mother. I'm going to kill your child, or your sister or your brother. And their families. Any child under 18 engaged in commercial sex act is a victim of human trafficking. Well, anybody.
Let's bring that a little more closer to home.
Okay.
What about here in Detroit?
Anybody, you can be 25, and women have been as old as 40-something years old who have been victims of sex trafficking.
In Detroit.
Exactly, because force, you're not free to leave. I own you, and you're going to be my slave, and you're going to service 10 to 20 men a day, and you're going to do as I say. So you can be anywhere from as young as 10 years old, and some of the victims are as young as 10, usually around 12, to 40 or 50 years old.
I've seen
You
them
can be
younger
in a
than that.
relationship with somebody, and you think again through fraud. And you think that you're dating someone, and they love you, and they promise to marry you, promise to take care of you. And then women have, unfortunately, have woke up and realized they weren't free to leave.
What was that man's name who he didn't kill himself? They said he did, but it's you know exactly
Epstein,
who I'm
yes,
talking about.
yeah,
He was doing a lot of human trafficking.
Yes.
There were also a lot of high profile people there that was joining in,
Yes.
like Bill Clinton. They had there was a picture of Chris Tucker there with him. I don't know. I don't know how, if he was involved in that, but they do have a picture actually of Bill Clinton dressed in a woman, and Monica Lewinsky's a blue suede Monica Lewinsky's dress with red heels on that was at Epstein's island. So I'm just saying all that to say this: there are so many perverted
Okay.
people, and we
Yeah.
don't know what they look like. A monster don't have to look like a monster to be a
Right.
monster.
And I want to go on record. As a professional individual, I don't know about those pictures. I don't know about who was there. So I do want to go on record and put a disclaimer out there as a professional person
Right.
that speaks to a lot of people about human trafficking. I'm not going to say I agree or I saw that,
I
but I
understand.
do know that Epstein was definitely, he was in jail and he was being charged with sex trafficking, and he had a very rich and powerful man, and he had a very rich and powerful clientele. But that's all I will say about that, because I don't know.
Okay, well,
about
I've
anything
seen
else. Okay.
the pictures, and I've
Okay.
actually seen done a lot of research, and actually talked to a couple of people concerning that. So
Okay.
I feel very confident in what
Okay.
I'm saying. But I do understand.
Thank you.
I don't know. So if you don't know, you
No, I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't
So
know. I wouldn't.
I ain't got nothing to
Yeah.
do with that.
Yeah.
So in Detroit, where do Detroit rank when it comes to sex trafficking in the countries? Where do they
country,
rank?
It would. It's normally ranked by state. So Michigan is always in the top 10. Our numbers fluctuate, and the data would be based on a couple of things. Now, at one point in time, we were number 2, and it was because we're very proactive in our arrest of traffickers. And so that's what would rank us pretty high. But some would say 7, some would say 2, and so those are the numbers. I believe we fluctuate between 2 and 7. One of the reasons why is because number one, we're connected to another country, Canada, and we have borders. We have international border, but interstates, and we're also surrounded by water, the 5 Great Lakes as well. So it's easy to transport people on water in the cargo
That's what I was about
areas,
to say. Crates.
yep, in crates and things like that. Kind of reminds you of the Middle Passage, because I tell everybody that human trafficking is modern day slavery.
Yes, it
and
is.
when the subject of slavery comes up and people say, oh, slavery used to be. I said, slavery is still going on. And they said, how? I said, through human trafficking. I have to continually sound the alarm because there are people who are not home and they need to get back home.
They do.
Young ladies and young men that need to get back home. There's a judge that's very passionate about human trafficking, Judge Deborah Thomas, Third Circuit, Frank Murphy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to research
Yeah,
her.
and she's very passionate and in human trafficking. She's an advocate, and I got a chance to interview her prior to writing the play. She told me, she said, you can't write a play, a book, or movie about human trafficking, sex trafficking without including throwaway boys. And these are our young men who may be kicked out of the home for various reasons. Some could be for maybe they've come out as part of the LGBTQ movement, and maybe they've come out and their parents say you can't stay here, and they're thrown away.
I don't
And-
call it thrown away.
Well, yeah, that's what we refer to it in the sex trafficking industry in terms of being advocates. And also, maybe a young man is in a home where there's domestic violence and he intervenes, and mom's boyfriend says he's got to go. And so
yeah, well, that's a different scenario.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So those are the two groups where boys most likely, or a young man could
Poor
be
babies.
caught up in a job. Maybe they're selling magazines or books and they're going door to door, and the quota is just too high.
And that's why I'm on my young brothers and sisters about taking care of your children, because they are after your children. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about how your children feel. Just like Miss Safety is saying, they will sit up and they will put all this confidence in them and then turn around and snatch it as soon as they get them where they need them to be. So these people, like my niece, she was in a sex trafficking ring, and my daughter, I ended up finding out through my daughter, and we went to try to get her out of it, and I even called the FBI, and the FBI was like, if she don't want to go, that's why I don't care for law enforcement. FBI said if she don't want to go, there's nothing we can do about it. So I just let it go. The people who had abducted her called me and said that they were FBI. I just talked to the FBI, and they said that they were coming over to talk with me. They're going to get me and this, that, and the other. So I told them, I'll be right here, boo. Come on over. No one never came. But the FBI never helped me. But we did get my niece up out of that. But the FBI never helped me when I called.
What a powerful story. What a powerful testimony.
Yes.
That you were able to rescue her.
Yes.
That is a blessing.
The family.
Yes.
The family
yes.
rescued
as a
her.
whole. There's strength in numbers.
Yes, it
and we've
is.
seen that in the Bible as well.
Yes.
Praise God. That's a powerful
Yes, it
testimony.
is.
I want to say this too. When I started writing and doing my research about human trafficking in 2016, 2017, both those years, it was a $32 billion industry. Do you know what it is now in 2021?
In the hundreds of billions.
$150 billion industry and growing. And
Yeah,
so,
I definitely did my research. Was doing my research when we started talking about it, because
yeah.
I'm like, and then like I said, I've been a part of that, and then I myself was about to be trafficked, but I ran.
But God,
No shoes,
but God,
just panties and a shirt,
but
and
God.
I ran.
Hallelujah.
So, you
But
know,
God.
I've talked to my viewers about, you know, when I used to sleep. I actually used to sleep behind Greek Town in the trash can.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you know, God has done great things for me. And that's why I want you guys. You notice I don't bring a lot of people on, but when I do, I want you to listen. These people have something to say, and they want you to be safe, especially here in Detroit. So can you tell me a little bit more about, you know, how many arrests since January, or do you know that they've made since in Detroit since January?
In Detroit, I don't know, but there is usually the police department has those statistics.
Yeah, I had looked that up.
And so, and then the Polaris, Polaris, is an excellent website and source to go to
Polaris.
to look up the stats in terms of arrest in Detroit and also in Michigan.
Yeah, they were talking
Polaris.
about Interstate 75. A lot of these out of the way hotels, they've made like
Yeah.
50 to 150 arrests. They've made like 70, I think it was 70 arrests for misdemeanors. and I couldn't remember it all, but they seem to be really cracking down. They're not standing for that in Detroit.
Exactly. Hopefully and prayerfully. Yeah. Michigan is very proactive. Michigan
Yes.
is extremely proactive
Yes, it
with
is.
arrests and the FBI and the state police and all three. As a matter of fact, I was on a prayer call not too long ago, and we were praying about that for local, state, and federal authorities to come together
Yes.
and work as whole. And then also, I'm beginning to get into the laws because the part I work on education and prevention. So I believe in going in schools, middle school. Some schools have asked me to address students as young as third grade, and we do go over cyberbullying and cyber safety
That's
and
good.
security. And
That's
so we have
good.
to deal with that because a lot of traffickers now, you can find your vulnerable victims right online. And now
Exactly.
with the pandemic, it has made it easy for them to get to young people. Let me give you an example of something. I was speaking with a group not too long ago. I won't say the name of the group. We were doing a Zoom, and I was speaking to them about cyber safety and security. And these were adults. And there was an urgent need for me to speak to them, and someone had given them my name because the women were from another country.
Okay.
And their children trusted and believed, their teenagers trusted and believed someone that promised them something or whatever, and they just didn't know any better. They're from another country, didn't speak
You're a stranger in a strange
didn't speak
land.
English very good, and they had gotten into the car with someone, but thank God after 2 or 3 days they were free and able to come home.
Thank you, Jesus.
But as we were on the call, a lady who was very, very quiet, African American woman, she said, I didn't want to come and really hear. I just didn't want to be here because I have other things to do. But she said, I'm so glad that you shared. She said, what you're speaking of hit home. Her niece was in the third grade, and third graders are around 8 years old. Her niece was in the third grade, and she was online for school. And somehow, because we give these children and babies a computer all day, if mom has to work, even if mom is working from home, mom oftentimes has to be in the office or in another part of the house. And a lot of times we have working moms and dads in the home, or maybe an older sibling may have to babysit the child. I don't know the situation. But the young lady, the young girl, was approached by some people.
Via
and
internet.
yeah, and they were had her doing some evil things, and she was about to go. They wanted her to get the 5-year-old younger sibling. You know how that was caught? Because I guess they put her into a particular website,
Yeah.
in the school district, not Detroit, I believe it was a charter school district, caught that
Picked it up.
and shut it down.
Thank you,
And then they brought it to the attention of her mom. It's called a traffic, and they are really going through a lot over that. And so you don't have to leave the house for people to traffic you. They can monetize and sell.
Your
If they have her
pictures, whatever
doing things,
pictures,
taking her clothes off and
exactly.
touching herself, they
Yes.
can monetize that and bring others in. And so
Yes.
you don't have to leave the home to be trafficked. But we do talk about that, some things that parents can do.
And that- you know,
let me
excuse-
just say this real
Okay.
quick. If you have a young child, and it's the police officer and me as well, if you have a young child that is online, and it's best to have that computer in the kitchen or living room where there's a lot of traffic of people coming by. Because when kids are in their bedrooms, there's what's called clickbait. And anybody can send them a picture of a Disney princess or Cinderella or the Little Mermaid. And things like that look good to kids, trendy things or whatever. They can click on that, and that's how they
But
get
you
our
know,
kids.
nowadays they got this spam, they got child protective things. See, the thing, you know, I'm actually, and if it don't apply, let it fly. But a lot of mothers use the computer and televisions as a babysitter, and I blame a lot of you mothers that's not taking into consideration the things that could happen on these computers. Because if they pop up on yours, matter of fact, why do your child even have a computer where they're with it 24/7 anyway?
Okay. Well,
So, you know, I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
parents need to be more on top of your children. You're so
Yeah.
busy going to get your nails done and trying to look all pretty. Pay attention to your children and this lady.
well, Donna, you're very passionate. You are, but when I speak to people, I have to come from a posture of, pay attention, but I have to come from an understanding people. And when we take biblical counseling and things like that, and to understand people, there's a lot that goes on in homes in terms of, and I'm not making any excuses for anybody, but I don't want to condemn.
So
or
like you
point a
saying, if it don't
finger.
apply, let it fly, and that's what
Well,
I say.
what I want to say is there are a lot of dynamics, and I do a lot of work in canvassing for the Detroit Public School District, and parents have to work and they're tired. Maybe a father has left the home. Maybe mom is working 2 jobs. Maybe mom is tired.
Okay.
Maybe mom is wore out.
Okay.
And I wouldn't want to go and point a finger to say what you need to be doing.
If it don't apply,
How can
don't
we?
pay. It's
how,
not
how
for
can
you.
how can we help, and just to give some advice as to how we can keep the baby safe.
Well, you do things your way, and I'll do things my way, and together we can meet in the middle and help some folks.
Amen. I love your passion. I love your passion. I do. I wanted to tell people too that ordering a girl online or boy online is as easy as ordering a pizza.
Isn't that sad?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
And it takes what, about 90 seconds to order a pizza, and that's the amount of time where you can go online. And they use different websites to sell girls, and you can tons of black market websites, and they can use your phone or a tablet or whatever, or their home computer, and order a girl online. And so there's a lot in human trafficking. You know, when people,
Yeah, 'cause we're
when
about to
people
wrap
score
up.
drugs, when you score drugs, you're finished with it. But oftentimes that girls and boys are used sometimes up to 10 to 20 times a day.
I believe
And
that.
so we have to continue to go out. And my goal is education and prevention,
And
and to
that-
be
and
on
that's a
shows
good
like
goal.
this. Yeah. And so we also have trainer program where we're going to train people.
I'm going.
August is Saturday, August the 28th, 8:30 to 4:30 at 180 Church in Detroit on Stansbury. But if you would need more information, email me at Stacy with an EY. J Productions with an S on the end at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say it again for the people.
Stacy
do my
with
closing.
an EYJ Productions with an S on the end at gmail.com if you're interested in that. And then we're going to show the hopefully soon, and within a month or so, we are going to show the play that I wrote, A Dream Deferred, about the dangerous lure of human trafficking. Powerful play. We're going to show that as well on social media.
Okay.
And so email
All
me
right.
if you're interested. Yep.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
being
you
on
so
the
much
show.
for
I
having me.
appreciate you. If you guys want a Not Today Satan shirt, I have one of these shirts, Not Today Satan, $25. Go to PayPal, pay me at Donna Stinson. I want to let Miss Stacy know that I appreciate her being here. So this is for you.
Oh, wow.
This is
Thank
for you.
Oh,
I just want you to
love
know
this.
that I
this.
really enjoyed what you were talking about. Hopefully we can have you back on. I really do want to work with you when it comes to this trafficking. And until next time, you guys, you know the drill. Stay strong and be strong.
I like that.